What's up guys, Jeebs back here with another viral video. You're welcome. The topic of today's video has been brought up a lot in my comments, and that would be, should you still buy a Focus ST or Focus RS, or if there's any Fiesta STs left? And I kind of wanted to address that. So here are my thoughts on that. Basically, if you buy an ST now, and it's already discontinued, I mean, they've already stopped production of the Focus. That doesn't mean like that the warranty is out. That doesn't mean that the car is gonna get worse. Really what it means is you're probably gonna get a really good deal because dealers wanna get them off the lots. Someone in my comments just wrote that they got a 2017 ST2 for $21,000 out the door, which is an insane deal. But the deals are out there. The other thing is let's talk about the car in its stock form. Okay, 252 horsepower. It has 270 foot-pounds of torque. You can get it with Recaro seats like this, all leather. In the ST2, it comes with partial leather and some cloth. The ST1 are actually also Recaro seats, they're just not labeled. If you get an ST2 or ST3, you get the big navigation screen. If you're getting a new one, you have Sync 3, which is, if you ask anyone that has an ST and they have Sync 2, Sync 3 is a big step up. It's still a relevant car, and for years down the road, it's going to be relevant in the power region. It drives really well. They've fixed the torque steer issue, and from my point of view, I think the best way to fix torque steer is just to put stickier tires on it. So that helped a lot for me. But basically, if you're still looking to buy an ST, and that's what you like over any other car out there, go ahead and buy an ST or Focus RS. There's still, the RS is still the daddy, okay? It's not the track daddy, that goes to the Civic Type R. But on the streets, if you're looking to do quick accelerations and all that stuff, RS, ST all the way. I was even looking at some videos, is an Australian YouTube channel, I don't remember what it was called, but basically the RS is faster than an M2 in a quarter-mile acceleration, mainly because it has launch control. So that's a very fast car, and the ST isn't that fast, but it is still extremely fun to drive, take around turns. I mean, I just don't think you should, because they're ending it, don't shy away from purchasing it. Some of the other options that are out there, up and coming from Hyundai, is gonna be the i30 or Velociter N. That's gonna be an excellent car. I've already seen some footage of it, and I'm sure some of you have as well. The exhaust cracks, pops, the horsepower is like 275 horsepower. It seems to have good brakes. It came from the chief engineer on that, or the project lead there was the guy from BMW M. I can't think of his name at the moment. But he was the head of that project. He developed the i30N with Hyundai Overwell, which we're not getting in the US, but I am thankful that we're getting the Velociter N, because that's gonna be a great option. Another option, you know, if you were looking to get a Focus ST, ST3 package, which is what this is, you're stickering at over right around $31,000. Now you're getting close to Civic Type R range. And I've said this before, if I was shopping right now for a car and I had my Civic from before, I would get a Type R. It's just a monster. It's a level above this car. And then you're like, oh no, it's front wheel drive, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's faster than a WRX STI in the quarter mile. So you can talk about all-wheel drive all you want, but that car just keeps on upsetting. I mean, if you look at its Nürburgring time and you look at what it beat, it's insane. The Focus RS is like an 806 around the ring. This Type R is a 747 or 743, I think it is. I mean, it's a crazy time when you see what it's beating, and beating badly. So that's another thing to look at. Again, like I said, do not pay over MSRP for that thing. I was just looking on an app called Car Gurus. That's what I use to search. I just like to see what cars are being priced at constantly. And there's some with about 10,000 miles on them already that are priced at about $34,000. So the prices are going to be coming down. They are holding well, and the Civic Type R is something that's going to hold extremely well over time. The ST, on the other hand, is not going to hold its value well. Don't expect to buy this and, you know, have it, you know, be worth the same as when you bought it years down the road. That's generally not the case with Fords unless you buy a Ford GT, which I'm assuming none of you have. Yeah, that's kind of my advice. Also, take a look at this Focus ST that I saw the other day. So I saw this at the dealership, and this is in that new, I think it's called Pepper Red or something, or Hot Pepper, something, whatever, Pepper. But I saw this out of the corner of my eye. Now, obviously, I'm always on, my radar is always high to pick up STs on the street, but I saw this out of the corner of my eye coming across the intersection, and oh my God, does this color look good. This is, you know, Tangerine Scream is a great color. Kona Blue is a great color, and this is my opinion. I think this is the other, like, the other great color, and that's my opinion, but oh my God, does it pop? It has a deep, rich look to it. You can see in this picture here, it's kind of zoomed in on the paint. There's like a flake in it, similar to the nitrous blue on the Focus RS. Just a really good looking color, and I like the contrast with the black plastics to the orange car. So if you're considering this color, take my advice. It is beautiful. There's not many out there now because we're all done with production, but if you're really considering getting a Focus ST, I would highly recommend that color. Plus the fact that, you know, the accents on the ST are red, and the outside of the car is reddish, so it just kind of gives it a more complete look. So I highly recommend that. I'm really happy I got to see it, because I think the one that I'm seeing in the pictures here was actually, and the one I'm talking about that was on the road is probably the same person just bought that car. So if you're someone in Tempe or Chandler, Arizona, and you just bought this ST, nice work. The other thing is I think I saw the final edition Focus RS that the same dealership had. I think I saw that someone purchased that as well. It was in nitrous blue. Again, a good looking car. But yeah, don't let this big news of Ford discontinuing all the cars. And look, if you're pissed off at Ford for doing this, then fine, screw them. Don't buy the car. But if that's really what you want, and if you're getting a great deal on it, you're gonna love the car. It's still a very fun car to drive. It's fun to do accelerations in straight lines, and it's fun to take it on back roads and test the handling. The way this thing handles on the road will impress you so much. So again, I came from a 2011 Civic Si, which was a really fun car, and I still miss it sometimes. I was like, okay, I'm getting a heavier car, and it's still front wheel drive, and it has a lot of power and torque. And I'm like, this thing is gonna, because you can't, you know, on the test drive, what are you gonna do? Take it through the figure eight? Of course not. You're gonna be like, oh, this is great, drive 20 miles an hour. But after taking, you know, you come like to a green light with the left turn lane, you go through an intersection. I remember distinctly the first time I did that, and of course I went like, you know, around the turn 40 miles an hour, but it just held the road. The tires didn't even chirp. You were just in your seat, and the car was doing exactly what you told it to do. And that's why I'm just so impressed with this car. The chassis is so well balanced. It's fun, it's active, it's playful. The rear end of this car is, they loosened up the suspension and the sway bars so you actually get play in it. Of course, they could tighten it more. You can put aftermarket sway bars on this thing and tie it down. It's not as fun that way. There's been several times where I've taken turns in this. When you put it in sport mode, it gives you a little bit of slip. And it has lift oversteer. The rear end will rotate right around on this car. I don't know, it's just a lot of fun to drive, and I don't see myself getting sick of it in the years to come. Now, the one thing if anything, that I'll do is I'll probably get a secondary car, just because I want to have, like I've said before, I want to have front wheel drive, I want to have rear wheel drive. I don't know what that was. But like I said, I want to have front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, and an SUV. So eventually that's what I want the lineup to be. First choice right now is a M2. The prices, woo! Bacon and eggs. I had a blowout this morning too. Price of the M2 has come down substantially with the announcement of the M2 competition. So I'm just gonna kind of let that ride, just keep letting the price fall. And when the right time comes, I'm probably gonna pull the trigger on that, unless I get some type of SUV first, and that's a whole different story. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you like this video, then hit the like button. This weekend, I should be shooting the video for a company called Ronin Factory. If you're not familiar with them, check out their website. I'm going to have a discount code and everything coming up. Going to do a video for them on an install. You guys should really enjoy that. And I also have some giveaways. I think 2 or 3 sets of what I'm going to be installing for that video for you guys. So that'll be cool. If you have a Focus RS and you're looking to do some modifications for it, you will have the opportunity to win that. Plus, with my audience, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm very small, so you have a good shot of winning something. That's about it. I've been going through some nice growth lately on the channel. I hope you like the quality with the new camera. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Another thing that I just thought of while I'm sitting here, there's a little bit of traffic. There's some type of accident up here. But another thing I thought about is the ST is not going to age anymore in the United States because we're not getting another one, so you're not going to see a newer model running around. So with the refresh that they've done on this car, that's what sold me on buying this. It's extremely sharp and good looking, but it's not like it's going to be like, oh man, that thing looks old. It's kind of like the CLK with Mercedes. It's still a good looking car because it really hasn't been replaced. I mean, now it has the C-Class Cabriolet would replace that technically, but there's not another one to replace it, so it's not going to be like, oh, that's the old model. It's going to be like, oh, that's Focus ST, it must be the new model. So if you're worried about that, just another thing to think about. So yeah, I don't know what happened here. There's trucks everywhere. So there's that there, and there's a helicopter up there somewhere as well. I don't know. There's the helicopter.